What's up, everybody? I am back. I got my coffee, and I am doing uh, another song in Farsi, I believe. This is different. This is, as far as I understand it, this is not rap. I believe the song is called ZENDEGI Azani. What is it? AZADI. ZENDEGI Azadi. It's by MADGAL. It's been out for about close to 2 weeks now. But I believe this is in reaction to the protests in Iran. So we'll get into it in just a minute. Before I do, two things. First of all, I am not a professional, I'm not an expert, and I do not speak Farsi. I know how to say Dorod Bar Shoma, and that's about it. So I do my best, but I don't speak the language. So there's going to be some things that I miss probably. So just forgive me. Part two, please don't be a dick. This may not be for everybody. I may not be for everybody. My opinions may not be for everybody. You're welcome to disagree with me. If you disagree with me, I will probably respond and see if we can figure out a place in the middle. But I would just ask that you be thoughtful in your replies, because I try to be really thoughtful in my videos. With that out of the way, let's get into this. This is ZENDEGI AZADI by MADGAL.
وقتی شب توی شهر فریاد درد گوشامو پاره کرد موهامو میبندم باد میجنگم منو نترسون باز با ترس اومدم بار رسید به دنیا صدا چون من آزادم من آزادم من آزادم زندگی آزادی آزادی آزادم مادر زمینم آره من همونم که تو رود وایستاد من محسا امینیم مثل اون قویم دستش تو دستم میریم سمت نور حتی اگه بکنی منو کور نمیرم زیر بار حرف تو اینو میخوام بگم با بدنم چیکار بکنم میخوام موهای زیبامو از دنیا پنهان بکنم بذار باز بگم برا اونا که عقبن بشنون من آزادم من آزادم من آزادم زندگی آزادی آزادی آزادم
Hell yeah. Okay, this is tangential. This is just me making connections. All right. I like learning. I'm very curious. I am assuming, because now I've learned more words in Farsi, right? I know the word for woman, I know the word for life, and I know the word for freedom, because I could pick those up. I know that's the name of the song, and now I know what they mean. So Zen means women, and Zendegi means life. My gut tells me that Degi is added to the word women because life comes from women, right? Women give birth. Females of all species, right, give birth. They provide life. So my assumption is that the way that word comes together is woman plus something equals life. That's just me spitballing. I could be wrong, but it makes sense to me. If that's right, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to know if I have properly intuited that. Now, to the song, and to the point. As mentioned in the song, Jina, mahsa, amini, a Kurdish woman living in Iran, or a Kurdish Iranian woman, I guess, to be more specific, was killed by police for breaking the morality laws, for showing her hair in public, as I understand it. And in response, there have been weeks of protests of people who have finally had enough of the oppressive state, and the oppressive morality laws. For those of you who don't know, like, a lot of probably the same people are watching these videos, so some of this may be familiar to you. I've probably said it before, but for those of you who don't know, Iran, up until about 1980, was considered a very liberal country in that part of the world, right? I mean, we've seen the photos of women on the beach in bikinis, mixed company, right? It was it wasn't necessarily Western, right? I don't want to say that, but I would say it was very liberal in the way the genders were treated and the way people were allowed to act and be and exist. And then the Islamic Republic came in and seized power. And I do not pretend to know how that happened, what the circumstances were, how it transitioned over time. I'm not able to go into that. But I do know that now the Islamic Republic is in charge, and they have some incredibly draconian laws, including morality laws, requiring people to follow the rules of the branch of Islam that they adhere to in Iran, whether or not you're Muslim, or whether or not you want to be Muslim, right? Like, there are parts of the world where people are Christians who don't want to be Christians. A lot of the time it's 15-year-olds who are going to church because their parents make them. But in Iran, there are a lot of people who are living by a certain code that they don't want to live by, but they have to for their own personal safety. And some people are willing to risk it. They're willing to risk being harmed or killed or imprisoned, to have their own personal freedom. And that is what happened to Jina. There have been people killed, many people killed in the last few weeks in Iran. Absolutely tragic. I condemn the killing of protesters in no small way, because I've been a protester. I've been out in the streets before, not in a way that was as dangerous to my own self, my own safety, as what's going on in Iran. But I can tell you, I was at protests where police used rubber bullets and tear gas to control a crowd that was peaceful, because of the sort of things that the crowd was saying. So I feel very strongly that that protesters should be given protection rather than cracked down on by the forces of the state. I'm hoping that things will change in Iran. I hope. I want to be clear. I'm an American, all right? I understand my country's foreign policy would rightfully make people question where I'm coming from. And so I just want to be clear. I'm not interested in regime change or culture change in Iran so that it will benefit our foreign policy. I mean, it's possible that two things can be true at the same time, right? But what I'm really concerned about is the people of Iran. Whether the regime can change, and you can still have the same opinion of America, and that doesn't really matter to me. I mean, hopefully you think I'm all right, You know, I try to be really, I try to be thoughtful and open to stuff, but it doesn't really bother me, right? All right, you guys rightfully have some serious problems with the way my country has conducted international relations. That's fine. That's very justified. But I want the people of Iran to have freedom that they don't currently have. Whether that benefits us in any way, I don't care. That's my stance. It's very brave. The people who are in the streets, who are risking their lives, is very, very brave. And I want their efforts and their sacrifices to mean something. So I am very hopeful that change will come and that it will change quickly, and people can go back to living in peace and safety. This is a great song. This is a good request. This is my first introduction to MADGAL. She notes in the comments that she's not able to perform in her own country, which is true and sad, and hopefully someday that will change. Thank you all for watching. Peace be upon you. I don't know how to say that in Farsi, but if someone will put it in the comments, I'll incorporate that into my vocabulary. Have a good day, everybody. Stay safe out there. If you are going out into the streets, take water with you. Just in general, drink lots of water. Mask up. Protect your identity. And don't talk to police.